Okay, so for today, make sure you do the bell ringer. The bell ringer has to do with conservation of energy. Why does a ball not bounce as high as when it's dropped? The answer to that would be that the kinetic energy of the falling ball is converted to sound. When it hits the ground, it makes a sound. It's converted to heat. When a ball hits the ground, it forms heat, which is very hard to measure, but it does. And also, you have air friction. So the reason the ball does not bounce as high is the energy the falling ball is converted to those other forms of energy. Then you're going to go to the reteach. This was the assignment that y'all did last Friday. Uh, the grades are very bad, so let's go over it very quickly. The first question is, at what point does he have the greatest speed? Well, remember, when you ride your bicycle down a hill, the fastest point of the hill is always at the bottom. As he falls, he gets going faster and faster and faster. So at what point does he have the greatest speed? That would be at point C. At what point does he have the greatest kinetic energy? Well, speed is kinetic energy, so that answer was also C. At what point does he have the greatest potential energy? Well, gravitational potential energy is how high off the ground you are, so at point A, he has the greatest gravitational potential energy. Here was the second question. At what point does she have the greatest kinetic energy and why? Well, remember, when you ride your bicycle down the hill, the fastest point of the hill is always the bottom of the hill. So that would be C. Why? Well, the gravitational potential energy from above is converted into kinetic energy. However, you could also say A, because point A and point C, she would be traveling at the same speed if she's coasting. If she's pedaling, that's different. But if she hits this hill with some speed and goes up just from her kinetic energy, she would have the same amount of kinetic energy going down the other side. The second question, what point does she have the greatest gravitational potential energy? The answer to that is B. And here's the one that students did very poorly on last Friday. It is on your quiz for today. So I would, which by the way, I would draw all these out and make notes. So I would draw this out. At what point does the ball have the greatest gravitational potential energy? Gravitational potential energy is how high off the ground you are. So point A would have the greatest gravitational potential energy. What ball has no gravitational potential energy? And that would be D. Why? Because it's sitting on the ground. So there is no gravity that's going to pull it any lower. So that would be that. I would take notes on what I just talked about, draw it out, and then from there go take your quiz and use your notes to take your quiz. That's a wrap. Tomorrow's Thursday.